Jump, slide, attack. Jump, slide, attack.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what because especially melee, like guns seem like reasonably balanced. I had to shoot people in the head or hit their body a few times, but my melee weapon was just like it was one shot in everything on the building, like including the building, like
Yeah. Welcome gamers, non-gamers, PvEers, PvPers, and even NPCs. This is the New Wave Gaming Podcast, and we don't discriminate. Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 57. ChukTomahawk, what's up, G?
Hey, how's it going, Ovox?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm back from the great state of Oregon.
Nice.
And it was a fun visit. Hey, and fellow gamers out there, apologies. I know we missed an episode. We went on a little leave of absence?
Sabbatical?
Or is it, a little short break. Because, I wanted to shoot up to the States and see my family and stuff. And I actually got a gaming-related story I wanted to drop on you. But, before anything, hope everyone out there is having a great weekend. Chuk, man, how have you been? I know, ups and downs. But
pretty good. I feel like the most relative thing is I'm now an Elden Lord. Like, I have united the ring.
That is right.
The ring is complete.
Yeah. And man, that would be an up. And I guess the downs would be is that you're so close to that hurricane thing that went by. What was it? The name of the hurricane, man?
Helene.
You were
Helene. Yeah, relatively speaking, I've been, fairly lucky not to get really hit by it, but just right up the road here, there's still, I think really in kind of wrapping up the search and rescue stage and getting into a recovery type stage. So all our thoughts are out there with those folks all
absolutely
along the path of that hurricane. You just don't really expect it to go that far inland and do that kind of damage. But
we'll not get too deep into that, but ups and downs over in the Tennessee area for Chuk T over there. But I know I feel for you, man. When you told me about that and the details, it just really it was crushing, and I can kind of understand in a way because we've had some substantial hurricanes down here, but it's always just like. It's never good news, man. It's a bummer, and
folks lost cell service was a weird part to this. When when y'all get a pretty good hurricane down there, does cell usually go out too?
Oh, dude, full collapse of infrastructure. Definitely losing sight.
That was one I wasn't ready for. I think I thought the one friend that wouldn't betray me before midnight was my phone. and I only experienced it from my end. I literally checking on people inside the area, and phones went down. I'm not sure I understand how cellular works, as it turns out.
Well, I think even cellular needs power.
Yeah, and it's connected like fiber optically somehow. I saw some TikTok videos of people in the know kind of explaining it, but and I think even generator wise it can't run forever, but not a lot of online gaming going on there now.
No mobile gaming going on. But so on a positive note, you're an Elden Lord, man.
Yeah.
Roundtable answers to you now.
It could have totally went like where like I think we've discussed in some of our episodes. Like you do find those points where you might just say, fuck this game. I'm not. This just isn't doable. This is unreasonable. And I'm gonna say you got a few more of those coming your way as you reach the end of this game.
I really, dude. Yeah. I really did miss playing Elden Ring while I was away. I think I missed playing with the squad a bunch, and certainly missed playing Elden Ring with you guys. And I remember I told fellow gamer and squad mate Pepe Tortilla that I was like, man, I bet you Chuk T's already smashed fucking Elden Ring. He's an Elden Lord, and he's probably already halfway through Shadow of the Erd Tree. I bet you. Wait, have you downloaded Shadow of the Erd Tree?
Even with the power out for a few days there, there was no game for maybe 2-3 days there. But and yes, to answer your question, I have, and
I knew it.
I didn't go there right away. Like I had enough. Like it's no spoiler that Melania is a fucking bitch. Like just you're gonna.
Oh, let me timestamp that. That's gonna be the name of the episode.
It's no secret. Yeah, and I don't think it's a spoiler to say like one thing I can comment on that is I did use summons, like just started summoning random help, from Tom Cruise or fucking anybody that could help me. Like,
any gladiator. Bring him in. Bring in that guy from Spartacus.
Yeah,
I need some help.
and like come to find out, I think we've got our password set pretty easily, easy type passwords. So a lot of people have that, and if you unfurrow your finger there, they're all over. And they usually are there at that little summoning post type thing that you got to activate, and you can kind of walk over on them just like when we're calling each other, and it kind of pops up a little version of them right then, and you're like judging them. You're like, okay, he's got a pretty good club looking there. That guy must be a magic guy, and here's a brute force guy. You kind of get your team together there, and
dude, I just bring them all in. No, come on in,
dude.
What you got?
I did get this thing. I don't know if you've watched any like videos that have included something called a sorcery called Comet Azure.
I have heard of this.
Oh, dude, I got Comet Azure. Well, it will set you free. All that frustration you feel against some fuckers, and there's so many things you get. It seems like it's almost like a game breaker, because when you do really hit all the power-ups with it and use it, it feels broken, but it's hard to get all the power-ups to work. You gotta Terra Magica, hit, you've got 10. I have a crystal tier that will actually, in my flask of Wondrous Physic, will, for 10 seconds there's no FP drain.
Damn.
0 FP drain.
0 so you can just freaking spam magic and
the way this particular spell works, it fires until you're out of FP.
Whoa! Oh.
So
what?
Yeah. So if you hit Terra Magica, you take the jellyfish shield, you throw that in there, you've hit a golden vow, and long story short, I went through a lot of shit to get some stuff that like that guy's hat that gives you the spell.
That's like some fucking magical TRT, dude. You're doing that.
Got his hat on, and then you lock on to the boss that you're fighting, and if you can get him in a part of his animation where he's kind of going to be still for a second, you're good. But if not, it doesn't track. Once you shoot it, it's in a straight line from where you shot it or whatever. But dude, if you can get him lined up and just fucking give him that whole 10 seconds of Comet Azure, you're like, yeah. He even starts almost like that volcanic, when when those volcanic things, those we were throwing those volcanic pods, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it kind of will do that. Yeah. He starts
just kind of
you feel that, motherfucker.
Oh, does he start getting it like he's just taking it? Ah! Dude, that almost reminds me of Dragon Ball Z when Goku would just fucking nail Frieza with a fucking Kamehameha and he'd just take it.
I didn't watch Dragon Ball Z, but people have mentioned exactly what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah, in the videos or whatever, because man, it is it's so satisfying. Like one of those tree sentinel type things. I ran into another rando, one of them, and I just melted him. I lined all that shit up. He was over there.
He's taking it like a bar.
I was like, yeah, how'd that feel, buddy?
30,000 runes.
But 6 times out of 10, it's you hit that flash of Wondrous Physics, and maybe you shoot it at him and he jumps out. You get him just a little bit, and
that's because, dude, they nailed it on the AI with these enemies. Dude. They know when you're starting to shoot shit at them. They'll jump out of the way. They'll dodge.
Yeah, and it's a big part of your plan too. So when you miss it, it's fuck.
There's also, I suspect, just by the description of all the the power-ups you have to use to really make it hit hard, there's probably like a minor investment just in resources to use all that shit.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I changed my build. Like I put my intelligence up to 70. I mean, like I'm just like, you know, just coming in there. Like I said, it's the major part of the plan. Like and when you miss it, like it's kind of and you know, you're working with them summons and you know, they see you over there like you know, they're like, what is he doing? Like, you know, or what? Because the summons are hard, like especially when you're bringing in randos, because you kind of don't want to die. You know how like we've been in those situations, like it's bad, like.
Yeah, if you die, then the whole party's over.
Yeah, it's over. But I also kind of want to be the leader. I mean, it's your playthrough, like
yeah.
you know, at the same time. And
oh, you remember that time when we brought in that rando, kind of when we just started playing, and he killed that boss, and we hadn't even got to the arena yet, and I was all pissed off and shit. I was like, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, yeah, fuck this game.
You kind of don't want that either, but like, you know, you've been playing with your mimic for a while, and like you're just getting your ass handed every time. You know, I don't know what my mimic, man. I've cussed him so much, like. It just at times like he'll be great, and then other times he just like freezes or some shit. You know, I don't know what he's doing over there. I look over and he's just kind of standing there. But
like, whoa.
Yeah, and if you give him any leeway, like if I put just any kind of random spell still in there. Like it's like a magnet for him. He's like, oh, like night shard, like. Psh, 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 psh.
Hey, speaking of summons, have you came upon any like spirit summons that you summon in with the bell that are perhaps better than the mimic?
I've heard people talk that shit, and the main one that gets mentioned is something called the Black Knight Teach. Like it's kind of up in the northern area. There's a name for the little town, but it's one of the ways that you kind of get on up to where you got to fight Millennia. And he basically has the ability, like his armor like makes it so you can't hear footsteps like when you get it. So I'm assuming like when he can't be heard as well, and he fights with knives. Kind of, and yeah, he's a bad dude. Everybody says.
Have you used him?
Yeah, I got him and boosted him up to 10, and I feel like it's situational, sort of like you know, if it's in a more enclosed area, like it seems like, but you know, in the wider open areas, it just his strength is like critical hit type strength, you know, and
yeah. See, I think we've already talked about the mimic tier summons before, so we don't need to get into it today, but. Man, there's very few situations where your mimic tier, especially if you're using them. Like, you know, if you've prepped yourself properly, like he's just such a good summon, dude. Like unless the enemy you're fighting is like way up in the air, and like more of a flying type enemy, if the bad guy's on the ground, he's gonna go in and do damage. Especially, and this is something I love about the mimic tier, dude. He really mimics you in every way. So, like, if you have some bullshit in your loadout and then you summon him in to help you, it can, like, really affect you in the battle, you know? Like, I think you mentioned this once. Like, you're like, damn, I was fighting with my mimic tier and he pulled out this bullshit sorcery.
Yeah, he's doing a fireworks show over there. He's not even, it's like a sorcery that just rains down right in front of him and he's nowhere near the boss, you know? And he's just over there. You're like, yeah, you got it.
Look at this. 4th of July.
Well, and I think too, like when it comes to like judging the summons, like asking anyone what they think of the mimic tier is kind of like like the chance for bias is just off the chart, because the mimic tier is you. Like you've created, like, you know, it's like if you were going to build a summon, this is what you would build. Yeah. You know, he dresses like you, he does everything, you know, has all the things you would do.
The same pots, the same,
he's
everything.
Like, so yeah, everyone loves the mimic tier. Like, I think, like, you know, cause
and
it's
like if he's doing that crazy fireworks shit over in a corner, you can only blame yourself in a way. It's like,
yeah. It's like, why do I have that shit in there? Like, you know, exactly. Like, yeah, I've got some remnant from some fight, you know, from that made sense in some, you know, obscure situation or whatever still in there. But man, the thing about that Comet Azure, it takes 3 spots like out of your spell thing too. Like that's how powerful that fucking spell is.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, it takes 3 slots out of your spell casting like area there.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either, really. There's some that take 2 and there's some that take 3. Like it's what's called a legendary sorcery. So it
okay.
I mean, yeah.
Damn, dude.
Top tier fucking blaster caster, and yeah, and you know, there are like, you know, I think the bigger the arena gets, the less like effective it is, like the more chance that they've got to kind of get out of your way and that kind of thing. And also, yeah, you kind of have to have a mimic to distract them to be able to set all that shit up too. Like it's kind of hard to do on your own. Like mm-hmm. You know, when the boss is like walking towards you, you're like trying to get all that shit. You know, you're like, put your left foot.
Yeah, you're doing your little dance to get everything ready, just to get that one Kamehameha off. Kamehameha sword, baby.
Yeah, because you got to do that jellyfish shield, you know, and get that red shit all over you, and then you got to put that on your back, and like, you know, get like,
yeah.
You got to kind of like, you know, really strategically, and, you know, I got where I could do it all really fast, you know, but other times, you know, like you've come back from outside or taking a break, like you're like, blah, 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 blah.
When you get into those battles, man, like better yet, I have a hypothesis here, but my hypothesis is that like if you've beat Elden Ring, you've effectively completed a master class on control handling, on controller handling, rather. You know, dude, because just the maneuvering of the controls, like in the buttons and the you know, moving your primary and your secondary around to be able to cast these spells and use the weapons that you want to use in a, you know, quickly enough and efficiently enough so that by the time you need to use them, you can, you know, especially in like a boss fight where time is of the essence, you know, and they're aggressively attacking.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, damn, just look down at your thumbs for a second. You'd be like, damn, I can't even see them.
Well, and I think back to like if we would go back and listen to some of our episodes before we played Souls games a lot, and like especially like when we were hearing news of like Arc Ascended coming out and you know, Arc 2 going to have like a more Souls like quote unquote battle system, and I understand like we want, you know, they're all their own flavor of ice cream or whatever, but I personally like, you know, I think one of the issues that would come up in that is that lock-on feature. And yeah, dude, I found myself like I went over and checked out Aberration, you know, just to kind of see what it looked like. And I was like, man, I wish I could lock on. Like, you know, it's weird to fight shit like when you can't, like when you've kind of gotten used to it. And,
God,
and it's not always an advantage.
Oh, but Chuck, dude, not to push against your comment here, but you remember when we were playing recently in the new Ascended version of Arc, and there was a bit of a lock-on system? You remember that? Dude, there was a lock-on. I remember it because it was a mod, though. It was a mod. Like, there's a mod. Yeah, I don't know if it's in the base game, but that mod was very helpful in locking on to, like, especially the what are those itchies, those seagulls that are flying in the air and come down and steal your shit? You know,
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of lock onto them now and hit them pretty easy with a bow and arrow or whatever you happen to have, you know?
Yeah, and I think part of my takeaway from all that is like, especially now that they've brought the mods with Arc to console, it's kind of a non-issue, because if there's some tiny little part like you don't like that, there's gonna be a mod for it. Like, you know, especially if it's not just, you know, something absolutely unique to you, you know, the way you play or whatever, like something large like that. I feel like there's always going to be a mod for it, and yeah, it'll be okay. Like it just, I'm going to have more open mind to stuff like that now, especially when it's coming out as news like that. Because the other thing is like, you know, just kind of sidetracking onto Arc, like there, that like all that Bob stuff, you know, all the DLC and everything, like we were all kind of mad that they were going to charge for the maps and stuff, but it's like they just kind of found another way to charge, like you know, it seems like it's almost like that's inevitable, like it's like at the end of the day, it is a business. Like they, you know, they are probably doing video games out of passion and a lot of things, but like, it kind of money's gonna always find its way in there somehow. It seems like, but
yeah.
But the new Aberration does look pretty damn cool, man. Like,
yeah, I know we're gonna be on there soon enough. Well, congrats on becoming an Elden Lord, ChukTomahawk. You left us in the dust.
Yeah. I mean, you guys didn't play any video games when you were in Oregon, like.
It's funny, dude. Pepe did play a couple of sessions of Battlefield, just to like decompress after work and stuff, and when we had some downtime, and I did. I took my Switch with me, which I got that over in Japan. It was very inexpensive over there, and I got it directly from the Nintendo store. It was sweet. And I got it thinking like, oh God, this is going to make my return flight so much better. And I remember I barely even played it on the flight. I only played it a little bit when we were about to land. Zelda Breath of the Wild, just a fun game. And then since then, dude, it's just been sitting here under my, I did. So I did decide to take it to Oregon, and I did. I actually played it a bunch. I started playing Zelda again, but honestly, it's just not getting its claws into me that much. So I ended up downloading, what is it? What's that tank game that's free? Gosh darn it!
I've seen like some episodes.
World of Tanks or something like that. World of Tanks Blitz or something. Yeah, that was a bunch of fun. And I ended up downloading a game that I'd played before. And it's gonna make you giggle, Chuk, but it's gonna make you laugh. But I re-downloaded Warframe. Because it's free across the board and it's cross-platform. So I downloaded it onto the Switch, man, and yeah, whenever Pepe Tortilla would be playing, Battlefield on the PS5, I just kind of like, grab a spot there close by and just, play some Warframe on the Switch. And I gotta say, man, I played Warframe back in the day when it came out, and played it for a little bit, put it down, completely forgot about it. And then when I got back from Oregon, re-downloaded it on the PS5, told you about it. Pepe Tortilla re-downloaded it, and damn, it looks good. Holy tamale! And there's so much more new shit I haven't even figured it out yet. I mean, we played a little bit yesterday. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I think the movement is probably one of the bigger things that I enjoyed, like just how fast you could cover the area and. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot to come with it. I did watch like a sort of beginner tip type video of it, and there's a lot to uncover, a lot of planets to go to, and yeah, it seemed like we basically got a couple missions in, and then we're doing sort of like it seems like that area we were in where we could do kind of free roam is somewhat of a unique part of the game, like it's not everywhere's like that or something.
You're right. I watched a couple of videos too, just because I had such a fun time yesterday that I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to become a thing for at least a couple of months. So I'm going to watch a couple of videos. I want to do it right. Not get any typical me. I don't want any spoilers. I just want to learn the the basic stuff,
mechanics,
mechanics and all that stuff. So I watched some videos, and it seems like it's a game that is going to be one hell of a grind. Lots of looting, lots of building, crafting stuff, grinding, farming. Because, and then, we were on that kind of open map area, and it seemed like those missions on there were kind of like side quests.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like side quests on these planets, I guess, or not on like in these open areas. Lots of planets where we can go just do more basically it's just like a kill fest, dude. A kill fest and a looting fest. And then you go back onto your orbiter, your ship. You get an orbiter, which kind of looks like a diamond-shaped bug. It actually kind of reminded me a little bit, and there actually isn't that much resemblance, but for some reason it reminded me a little bit, the orbiter, that is, of the living ships that you can get on No Man's Sky.
Absolutely. Reminded me of the exact same thing.
Yeah? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a more badass, like, technological version of the living ship, which is doesn't make any sense if you think about it. But, yeah, I mean...
yeah, because where the living ship would have, like, a biological tentacle kind of hanging out, they've made, like, a actual part of the ship... It's still like ship material, like metal, like some kind of high tech metal. But it kind of has a motion like the tentacles.
Like a tadpole, like a big ass space tadpole.
Yeah, that was a good. I think it'd be like pretty safe to say they they've played, they were influenced a little bit, like inspired a little bit by some of those things, maybe. Yeah.
Perhaps we have to check the dates on that, because I think Warframe's been around for.
That's a good point.
But so going back to your original question, I did do a little bit of gaming on the old Warframe on the Switch, which was fun, but it's way better on the PS5, of course. And dude, this is a little side quest in our conversation here. Pepe Tortilla and I went up to Crater Lake, which is beautiful. If you haven't been to Crater Lake in Oregon, check it out. It's the deepest lake in the U.S. It's amazing. And you can swim there. There's one spot where you can go to swim, and it's so cold. At least for me, it was like, oh my God, dude. Oh, there's this like jump off rock where you can, you go up there and it's like a 20-foot jump, and you jump in and the water is crystal clear, dude. It actually reminded me of like a tropical Mexican beach. It's that blue green on the the shore there. It gets darker blue as it goes out, but that initial like 20, 30 feet of the shoreline water there, the rim, it's just green, blue, like crystal clear. It's so clear and like pure that you almost want to just like open your mouth and start drinking the water when you're in there, dude. I guess I haven't confirmed this, but I guess like you can fish there without a license, I guess, because all of the fish in that lake are invasive. I guess that's what I heard. I'd have to double check that. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, yeah. So I got up on that rock, dude, and I remember, they had told me it was really cold. The park ranger lady that you go by when you go in, like, oh yeah, go ahead. It's up to you if you want to swim there. It's very cold. It's on you. Be safe. So I jumped. Dude, I love jumping off rocks into lakes and ponds. That's something that here in Mexico is just, or at least where I live, there are no opportunities to do that. So whenever I go to Oregon and I have an opportunity to go to like a jump off rock and just, I love doing that. So I get up in there and I jump, dude. And the second I hit the water, it was like the life force was sucked out of my body, dude. I could instantly feel my mijos down there, my cojones just disappear, dude. They just instant, like my body was just like, and I beelined it right to the shore and got out, dude. I climbed up onto the rocks and just like straggled myself on a big black rock and let the sun hit me, and I was just like shaking, man. And then Pepe Tortilla's like, where am I going? And he jumps up, crashes into the water, and he comes out and he's like, this is amazing.
It's unscathed.
Dude, just unfazed, man. He ran back up there, jumped off again, ran back up there, jumped off again. Dude, he was like loving it, man. And I was just like on the rocks, just like vibrating, like, someone passed me a health pack.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I feel like as I've gotten older, my tolerance for that has just gone way down. I used to just hit, like, jump in, have the, because that is probably the best way. Like, when you slowly lower yourself into cold water, everyone's always said it's worse, but that's exactly how I do it now. Like, I don't jump in.
You ain't fucking around with no bullshit.
And I'm just like a girl. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh,
the misery.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was cool, and I recommend it if you're ever in that area. But okay, so getting back to the gaming stuff, on the way back, we took a route that took us through Shady Cove, which is this little town in southwest Oregon, southern Oregon. Beautiful little town, man, right on the Rogue River. And I have a lot of memories there. My grandparents, and I have other family there as well. So I used to go there a lot as a little kid, as a teenager, throughout my life. So driving through there was just like really cool, It's like, oh man, Shady Cove, I know this town. And there was a place where when I was a toddler and a kid and a young teen, whenever I come to visit Oregon, I'd go there a lot. My grandparents would take me there a ton. I think I've mentioned it to you. It's called Phil's Frosty. And it's just this picturesque, like you'd see in a movie, little like burger and ice cream shop that is in a small town. It's still there, dude. It survived the COVID phase where a lot of businesses were closing, and it's still the same Phil's Frosties with the classic sign, dude. It's just like a cornerstone establishment of this little town, dude. And it's like, and we were driving through, and I'm like, bro, sorry, man. I gotta stop here real quick. I have to. I need, and I stopped there and went inside, man, and I don't want to sound like lame or anything, but it was just like a wave of emotion, man, just hit me, dude. Because when I got in there, when I opened the door and I looked in the back, the same 2 arcade boxes or cabinets, the same 2 arcade machines
still there.
that have always been there, dude, that I played for hours as a little kid, dumping quarters into, just creating beautiful memories, dude. And with my grandparents circuit with ice creams, or my mom and my dad, and they were there, dude. And I couldn't help it, dude. I started to fucking, I literally sat down at a table, dude.
Moments, yeah.
Dude, it was just, and inside this little, Phil's Frosty, they've got all this, memorabilia from the local high school teams and pictures of like, of the establishment over the years. And it's just such a like cozy, like little, and it's a tiny little business, man. It's small. And there were tons of people, everyone getting off the river, like getting their ice cream and their burger and everything. And man, I was just, I didn't like bawl or anything, but I was getting a little teary, and I walked up to the machines, and I just touched them and embraced them. I didn't play or anything because we were on the roll, but same one, dude. It was a Cruisin' USA, which was like this race car game. Uh-huh. And then it was a pinball machine, very bare, just 2 machines. But man, I made a lot of memories on those machines. And I think the people that work at Phil's Frosty are always young guys, young girls, probably students in the schools there or something, high schoolers or whatever. And I kind of tried to compose myself a little bit, and I walked up and I asked the gal that was working there, I'm like, could I have I was still a little voicey, how you get a little voicey when you're, tearing up a little bit. And I was like, can I just have the smallest regular ice cream cone that you got, please? And dude, I said, great. She gave it to me, and it was way more ice cream than a small. She really like hooked me up. And then I said, great, thank you so much. This is a lot of ice cream. How much do I owe? And she's like, no, don't worry about it, man. I think she noticed that I was a little emotional, and she's just, no, don't worry. It's on me.
It's like he's going through it.
And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And, what?
He's going through it over here.
Yeah, he just got dumped. Some guy just broke this guy's heart. That's probably what she thought,
Oh, that's freaking awesome, though.
Oh, dude, it was such a moment for me. And I think Pepe Tortilla noticed. He's like, you all right, man? I'm like, dude, this place means a lot to me.
Fuck
so glad it's still there, dude. I'm so happy it's still there. Hope it never goes away. But that was a kind of a gaming nostalgic moment for me that I had up there.
Cruisin' USA. Wonder what year that came out. Like
Probably
was fairly new when you were there. I feel like Pole Position sort of inspired a few of those games.
Oh no, keep going.
No, I'm just sitting there trying to think it through. Like if I'm gonna guess, I'm thinking like mid '80s somewhere, right? Like would have been.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, here it is. It was first released in arcades in 1994.
94. So
by Midway Games. Midway Games, I remember them. Holy crap, dude. Yeah, Cruisin' USA is a racing video game developed by TV Games Inc. and published by Nintendo. It was first released in arcades in 1994 by Midway Games with a port to the Nintendo 64 developed by Williams Electronics. Oh yeah, I played it on the Nintendo 64 too. Yep. Dude, I had this game on the Nintendo 64. No way.
So it has a steering wheel, like gas pedal and shifting gear type situation.
But like the first iterations of the steering, like, oh yeah, dude. And the way, the graphics and everything are so, oh man, yeah. It was. I was tempted to play, but we were cruising, we were on the road, so I just smashed that massive ice cream as fast as I could, and we went on. But what a moment!
Nice. Damn, that brings back a lot of good memories for me too. I know I can just picture the kind of place you're talking about. Like it seems like they were popular in like the 50s, like kind of like this drive-in type, model for a restaurant. Like I think in our town it's called the Dixie Queen, or the Golden Dairy is another one, and only the Golden Dairy is still around. But yeah, it's just a vibe in it of itself, man. Like
yeah, man, and it's like, hey, let's go down to Phil's. It's like I can just see like if living in Shady Cove, that's just a spot, you know. You go there.
Well, and it amazes me that it's still working. Like you'd think like any kind of CRT TV that I've known that you know from that day, it ain't working no more. like you know they've had to keep it going at some point.
Yeah,
like
they must have like
some maintenance. Like
yeah, dude, I don't know. They must have like the Toyota Tacoma of you know, cabinets with that one, because it just will not stop going, man.
And I think keeping it going probably is a big part of that. Like you know, if it was sat in a warehouse somewhere, they go to shit, you know. But maybe the love of it, getting a little bit of play every day.
Oh yeah, you're right too. They probably change the oils, the air filters, check the, you know, they check all that shit on that bad boy.
Well, and you said it right.
The oil, the air filters.
No, dude, the oil, like you would have to change the oil if you had one inside the Golden Dairy, because I mean it's like they're deep frying a bunch of shit back there. You get a good breath of that oil. You know, that's what just still amazes me. You know, like there'd have to be, you know, some buildup of that kind of environment. But yeah, that's freaking awesome, man. You didn't see any Polybius cabinets in Oregon anywhere?
Nope. I didn't get to bust that mystery wide open. No, there were no Polybius. You know, I didn't look. There was kind of like a storage area to the side there, which I didn't check out. That they might have been hiding something in there, Polybius like. You know, all the answers are in a little Phil's Frosty and Shady Cove, man.
Damn. Yeah,
that was fun. And besides that, we did go. This isn't like gaming per se, but something I wanted to do because I hadn't done it in years. And where we were, the city there had a bowling alley, so we went bowling, and that was fun, dude. And dude, it's classic bowling alley. Like we walked in there, and man, it was like they hadn't like it was clean and everything. Don't get me wrong, but it was like they hadn't. Like it still had like the late 80s, early 90s vibe to it, you know? And you could drink there and get food, and like again, we're talking like ice creams and burgers and hot dogs and all that classic stuff. And then they had an arcade section. And just those like that ambiance, that environment, you know, like it just gets my nostalgia wheels going, man. You know? I even remember telling Pepe Tortilla, I was like, "Oh, look, they have an arcade over there." He's like, "Dude, bowling alley, man. It's got to have an arcade." You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man.
And I lost every time. I got my ass kicked in bowling.
Yeah, I always think of the Big Lebowski movie when I'm bowling. Like I just try to emulate that, but it's like, I think I mentioned to you, somehow I always fall when I'm bowling. Like it just like that slick floor and rented shoes and me, like not a good combo.
Yeah, and it seems bowling seems so easy, but when you actually step up and get after it, it's not easy at all.
No,
I kept throwing that thing into the gutter like over and over. Like I did all right, you know, but there were three of us. I got third place every time, but I was on the stands though.
Yeah, I'm borderline like need the bumper. Like you did they have the bumpers there like for the kids or whatever? You know, you can play that like.
Oh yeah, the bumpers. I forgot about those.
Yeah, like the one I went to, it's almost like they brought down these airbags that went into the gutters essentially.
It's like, this guy's struggling. Let's help him out. He ain't a kid, but he needs help. And then I can just see you over there, like seeing these things come down. It's like, come on, guys. All right, no, yeah, it's all right, all
right. So yeah, I was trying to think like I know the bowling alley in our town definitely had that, and the skating rink was another place that have an arcade like that, and you know like you say, it was almost like in any business, like if certain time period, like the side business was an arcade. It seems like, especially if you had to wait for like food or some other, you know, something in that area, you know.
Yeah, they had a jukebox too. That was awesome, man.
Nice.
Yep.
Man.
But anyways, so that was fun. It was a good trip. But definitely happy to, dude. That was something I was thinking about, like not being able to game while I was gone, but I did end up gaming, so I think that I got to like scratch that itch, you know. But you inevitably miss your gaming spot, you know, your spot on the couch, your man cave, your whatever it may be. It's hard not to like. I remember this when I went to Japan too. That there was a little part of my brain, you know, when I'd get back to the hotel room, it was like, God, I really wish I could just like, you know, play some fucking Helldivers right now.
In front of a nice sized TV. Yeah, just there's something like, you know, just kind of a little bit of shutting your brain off. I mean, you obviously still got to think to play the game to some degree, but as far as, you know, like real world problems, you can kind of leave them behind right there, and you know, like really absorbing that. And I find like playing the Switch too, like I, on my Switch, and I'm kind of the same way. Like I only use it when I'm traveling or something like that. But the handheld thing just eventually isn't the same to me.
No, and speaking of the Switch, I don't know what you think, man, but the freaking controller setup, like the way that they like lined up the Joy-Con with the buttons and everything, it's like, why are the buttons down here and on one side, but on the other side, and the stick's over down here when my thumb's up here, and like, and I'll be like trying to play some shit and just stumbling, dude. It's like, God damn, I've been playing Elden Ring. I should be a master at this, and I'm just stumbling on the Switch trying to like get Link to shoot the damn bow.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It's almost like you got to hold it and play the game at the same time.
Yeah,
like in some kind of weird way,
dude. And that little fucker's heavy.
It is heavy, yeah.
If you let go on one side and you're only holding it with one hand, it's like, you know, like it goes down. It's like it's going flaccid on you.
Limp wrist in the freaking. Well, have you ever gone like through the hookup to the TV? Like that comes with it, right? Like it's this little docking station.
Yeah, I did that.
I traveled to Minnesota there with my mom, and I went. I was playing Ark, and it was almost, you know, I was struggling, like kind of like you're describing, you know, just from the field of view situation almost. So, like I hooked it up to the TV, and I don't know. It seems like I forever don't have like a part I need or something, like an HDMI cable that I didn't bring or something, you know. Or I think in this case I found a way to make it work, but I didn't have the shit I needed really to make it work.
Yeah, and you got to have that black controller thing that you slide the pieces into so that it becomes like a singular regular controller.
Yeah, kinda. And then the Joy-Cons are out in your hands now, and
yeah,
like it's even more like you still got to hold
a little bit better.
Yeah. I don't know. The Switch is like I definitely see the coolness of it, but it kind of is for a certain little niche, you know, of your gaming world. It seems like where the way it works for me, but
and I mean, I haven't fucked with the other ones out there, the other mobile like portable gaming devices, but like the Steam Deck, and I think PlayStation has one that's pretty dope. But you know, there's a lot of options out there now with that stuff. Hey, going back to what was I gonna ask? You mentioned something, and I was gonna. Oh shucks, Chuck! I forgot what I was gonna ask you. It was something pretty relevant too, but maybe it'll come back to me. But going back to Warframe and how much fun it was, I promise, Chuck, I'm not gonna give up on Elden Ring, dude. Promise you, man. I know you were thinking about it.
Yes, bit of a hard time. I think Elden Ring, like I think for me, like when the switching games is really frustrating is something more like Ark, like where there's a ton of like, you've really almost got to put in a full gaming experience, like 3-month gaming experience to really get where it's about to get good, you know, like where you've got those engrams and
lots of resources and a good solid base with all the yeah.
I think that I thought about it some last night. Like, and you know, I think we're always just kind of joking. It ain't, you know, like there's definitely a lot of worse shit can happen in your life than changing video games or whatever. But I do like I think it's more directed toward those kind of games, like where the grind is just, you know,
like what do you mean you want to start playing this other game?
yeah. And
we just spent 3 hours taming a Gigantosaurus yesterday, and now you want to go play fucking Warframe?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a joke in the back of our minds that keeps coming up because there's actually something to it. I mean, there is something to the concept here.
Yeah. And I think the counter argument seems to be like, we like to mix it up and keep it fresh, and and it's like, looking for these. Yeah. It's like, me going through the swamp cave to find us another Rex saddle. That's fresh. It only took 95 fucking times. Like, I guess I'll do 95 more. You're right. You are correct, sir. Like,
very fresh.
Yeah, that's freshy fresh.
My desire to game has been reinvigorated. Thank you.
I shall tame a Beelzebufo post haste. Like, that's the hard part, I think. But yeah. There's always an answer, though.
Let me complete the tutorial over here on Warframe for you, and then I'll go tame that fucking... I'm on it. No
but
no pressure.
I think, as I was looking for a aberration server, I think the remedy to that is just play on a more boosted server, to some degree, that loot is boosted and yeah. Especially as I feel like our next playthrough on Ark may be PvP. So
yeah, dude.
I think the playing more on a less boosted server in PvP is kind of setting a person's feelings up to get really hurt. Like, so I want to play on a fairly boosted one, so building back up or anything like that won't be as just heartbreaking,
heart-wrenching.
Because we always say, "Oh shit, we'll get back in there. We'll come back," and
and we do. But
well, then the reality sets in, and it's like, oh man, those motherfuckers are like, dang it.
Yeah, but it's because we're always having such a fun time on whatever that new game is, and I think our fellow gamers that have been following us know, like, we've been on we went from Ark to Warframe, back to Ark, to Elden Ring, and there's been a couple of games here and there that we've messed with, but kind of that's been our real. And now we're not. Well, I don't want to jump ahead of things, but it seems like maybe we're now opening a new door, which is Warframe.
And honestly, it needs to be, because Elden Ring, although it does have like that fairly decent co-op component, like it's not seamless. Like they're talking about making it seamless, and there's a reason, because it's just like we definitely found a way to make it work, and like we've even talked on episodes before. I think it came down to like exploring catacombs and things like that. But you almost have to kind of be right at the same.
There's a lot of things that are inconvenient. Like, let's say we want to go to a particular spot that's out in the open world, but the closest site of grace is in a catacombs. So, we'll all go to that site of grace at the catacombs, but if you summon everyone inside the catacomb, a gray mist will appear at the door, and then you won't be able to go out to the... little stuff like that, where you have to like, okay, well, there's a workaround. Let's all just spawn in at the site of the grace in the catacomb, and then we'll just go stand outside of the door of the catacomb, and then we'll spawn, it's not seamless at all.
Well, and a lot of bosses, like, it actually is easier, like, to be able to, like, it takes that using your horse away from you, and so it's easier almost to do it, when you can have your horse still. Like, you can use your mimic and then use your horse, and there's a lot of, like, nuances like that just, and then, like, I've said it before, I respected your, like, approach of I'm not going to do spoilers, but it's also just damn near impossible not to do spoilers. Like it's like,
you're
if
still
I could,
on that.
I'm just saying, like if I bust into your game now with like the Comma de Zur or what, you're like, what the what is that?
God damn, I'm glad there's no friendly fire.
Yeah.
I'd be Azured out of there.
But it would be. It could be better as far as a play together kind of game, and yeah, so we need that, kind of new thing in there. And I'm not like Warhammer. I think, as I can tell, like it doesn't have PvP, right? Like it's all.
Wait, the new game Warhammer Space Marine 2?
Warframe is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want to call it Warhammer, but
actually, I think it does, Chuck. I might be wrong because, like I mentioned at the top, the game has changed a whole bunch, and we all were discovering yesterday on the orbital that there's like all this new stuff, and I found this little station on the ship where if you approach it, it brings up these options where you can go into like arena type battles. I think for PvP. I might be wrong. I'm gonna double check that later on when we do some gaming. But I think there is a PvP component.
Now that I think about it, maybe I did see something in that video about that. Like maybe it was there, but wasn't super popular, like far as being used or something. But
oh man, it's just in that one little sesh yesterday, we had so much fun just flying around that open world, dude. Just samurai sorting shit down and using specials and like. Trying to figure out how to get those damn drones out of the sky. It was fun. It was, dude.
Oh, yeah, and then taking over their ship. Yeah, that part was really cool.
Yeah, and one of the things that I discovered last night watching the videos, you probably noticed it too, that caught me off guard because I suspected the opposite, is that it's entirely free. We know that, but it's also, I was going to say, free to win. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but it's not pay to win is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
I thought it was pay to win because I noticed that there were like these currencies that are harder to get. You get credits, but then there's like another one called platinum, and platinum's the one you need to really like get like to buy the frames, the Warframe suits and other stuff. But what I learned in this video is that you can actually grind all that shit out. There's not a single thing in the game that is for sale that you can't get just grinding the game. So if there's something there that's for sale with platinum and you can buy it with platinum or real money, with time and playing the game, you can get it for free. So it's entirely free. There's no pay to win in this game. You can pay, but it's like if you don't have the time, the patience, you're lazy, whatever, you just want to get the shit right away, then you can buy it. But you can just play the game and you'll eventually grind it out by getting blueprints and crafting the weapons. You can craft the Warframe suits. You can craft all the stuff. It does take a lot of time, but you can do it. And I thought that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like, in Ark, like when you put all the ingredients together and you put them on the fabricator or whatever you're crafting on and you craft, you'll see the little time it goes, and then boom, it crafts your thing, and then it crafts another one. At tops, it might take like 15 seconds, maybe a minute if you're crafting something crazy like element or whatever. It might take a minute. These crafting times in Warframe, dude, to craft an actual frame, like a new suit, takes 3 days.
Oh, Jesus.
72 hours. Is 3 days 72 hours?
Yes.
I think it is. Wait, is it?
3 days is 72, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. 48 plus.
Anyways, it takes 3 days.
24.
It takes 3 days. So crafting times are insane, but you can get all this stuff. So that's cool. Oh, man. Dude, it's already been, we've pretty much chewed up an hour already. Damn.
Yeah. Damn. I noticed. I want to say I saw a little something like there is some kind of premium something you can get, like you say, you can spend money if you want to, but it's not like you have to. Yeah. To be able to compete. Well, yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's interesting to see where that goes. I definitely want to build up, some more stuff and kind of see how the.
There's a whole lot to discover. That's something I love about gaming, man. It's so much fun. It's just when you get a good game with a lot of content, a lot of depth, and you can just really dive into it. And if all of a sudden 4 hours have gone by and you're like, oh damn, So that's a good game right there. So
yeah,
we'll see.
You know, I want to say like my general takeaway of it is like it seems to be for the players, because like I felt like, especially like who we were fighting, I felt like a god, like we were just, you know, kind of plowing through shit, and also, like I think always like movement is a thing. We always want to go faster. Like, you know, when we were given an option, everyone was putting like points into our dragon speed and shit. Like they were like in this game, it just feels like you can cover so much fucking ground so fast, and I almost got the feeling like when you fall behind, it boosts you because like the people in the front are moving just as fast as, you know, I'm imagining like they're moving as fast as you are, but you can kind of catch them too. Like, I don't know exactly how that.
It's fun. Yeah. Doing the bullet jump where he just like slides, jumps, and then spins through the air like a freaking torpedo. That's sick, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I never noticed my health meter. Like that's another part. Like it seemed like, you know, I think I did die once, but like otherwise I felt, you know, damn near invincible, it seemed like.
Yeah, it's cause like, you know, you got your health bar, which is the red portion, and then right next to it is the blue bar, which is your shield. So the shield has to go down first before the red will go down, and the shield regenerates.
Oh.
The shield will regenerate, and especially when you're just slashing people apart, because all those people that you're taking out, all the bad guys, are dropping, you know, health, dropping ammo, dropping energy for your shields. They're dropping stuff, so you're picking that up, and it's also so it's not until you really get into a insane situation that, you know, you might get downed. And I think somebody got downed yesterday and rezzed.
For sure. I died completely.
Oh, really?
Like at some point, yeah. I think I was down. Anything? I think I was down, and like Pepe said something about he was going to revive me, and I feel like I accidentally pushed whatever button was to like surrender or something, you know, just like go ahead and die.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, like, that's good to know.
Yeah, but I don't even know that. Hell, he may have revived me, and it just felt that way to me, like because all of a sudden I was starting over, you know, and yeah, so yeah, I was a little confused. Things were happening fast. So.
They sure were. Yeah, and at the, you know, and while there's this insane scene going on of just death and destruction and flying past and zooming and bullet jumping, there's this like Lotus lady going, "Oh, Tenno, oh, yeah, Tenno, get to the objective, Tenno, oh."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what is she saying? I don't know. Ching, ching, ching. I don't know. Ching, ching. Oh, Tenno, get to the expired. Why?
Yeah.
Ching, ching, ching.
Yeah, it's like I'm literally like I have a lot of questions, but I don't know enough to really what I need to ask. You know, it's
you're just spamming the beep. You know, spamming circle,
jumping and sliding. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Jump, slide, attack. Jump, slide, attack.
Yeah, yeah. It's what it, because especially melee, like guns seem like you know, reasonably balanced. I had to shoot people in the head or, you know, hit their body a few times, but my melee weapon was just like it was one shot in everything on the building, like including the building, like
yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay,
shit down.
But I bet we'll eventually get to shit that, you know, is going to take a few licks, and then it'll be on.
Dude, we haven't even left Earth yet. You know,
yeah.
So we got a ways to go. Well,
roll that thing up.
Well, shoot, Chuk, let's wrap it up, man. It's been an hour. One hell of an episode. Fellow gamers, thanks for joining us. We're back, and we'll have another episode up real soon. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're listening on Spotify and you enjoy the podcast, it'd be super, super helpful, and we'd be very appreciative of a 5-star rating. And I think it allows you to put comments now. If you have any comments, drop them in there. If you're listening on Apple, or is it Apple Podcast? Yeah, it's still called Apple Podcast, I think. You know, same thing. Hit us up with a 5-star, maybe a review. That'd be awesome. It's super helpful. And, you know, if you have any fellow gamers that also enjoy podcasts, feel free
to use. That's weird.
yeah. Feel free to share the pod with your fellow gamers out there. It really helps us break through, you know, that algorithm and get out to new listeners. You know, independent pod here, breaking through the barriers, one pod at a time.
Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nice. Chuk, dude, thank you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother.
Hell yeah. Thanks, everyone.